Chosen one. You are not here by accident. Heaven has drawn you into this moment with deliberate precision. The Spirit has aligned your steps because you are standing at the threshold of a supernatural shift, a divine wealth transfer, prepared long before you knew to ask for it. Anointed one, the veil is thin right now. What you are sensing is real. What you are stepping into is holy. For the word declares, surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan, and today he is revealing yours. Breathe, settle your spirit, and prepare yourself. Something is about to break open for you. Chosen one. There are moments in life when the atmosphere around you begins to shift long before you consciously understand why. You sense it, first, in your spirit, a tightening, a pull, a quiet alert that refuses to be ignored. It's as if heaven itself leans closer, whispering through the cracks of your awareness, urging you to pay attention. This is one of those moments. I need you to hear this with more than your ears. I need you to hear it with your spirit, because what is unfolding around you is not ordinary. It is divine timing in motion. For many years, chosen one, you have walked through your home, believing it was simply a place of rest, a place of stability, a place where you could exhale after the pressures of the world. And yet, something inside you has been unsettled. You've felt it in the late hours when the house grows quiet and your thoughts grow louder. You've sensed it when you cross certain rooms, when the light shifts in a way that makes your spirit straighten its back. At times, you even questioned yourself, wondering if you were imagining things, overthinking, or carrying too much stress. But deep down, you knew something wasn't right in the atmosphere. Anointed one, let me tell you something from my own journey. I once lived in a place where everything appeared normal, even peaceful. But every night before falling asleep, I felt a pressure that I couldn't explain, a heaviness sitting at the edge of my awareness. Nothing dramatic, nothing terrifying, just a subtle, silent weight. People around me would call it fatigue or anxiety or imagination, but my spirit knew better. When God gives you spiritual sensitivity, He does not do it to burden you. He does it to prepare you. And what He prepared me for was revelation, the kind that cracks old patterns open and demands you step into a higher authority. Chosen. One, you are in that place now. Heaven is not revealing this to frighten you. Heaven is revealing this because you stand at the threshold of elevation, spiritual, emotional, and yes, even financial. God does not allow you to enter a season of breakthrough while carrying the residue of old battles. And your home, your sanctuary, your resting place has carried more than you realized. Not all of it came from you. Some of it was left behind by others through words spoken in frustration, intentions masked in politeness, or emotions that hung in the air long after the person walked away. But here is the miracle hidden inside the warning. What you are sensing now is not the presence of danger. It is the presence of God exposing what no longer has permission to stay. When heaven steps into a room, anything that is not aligned with divine purpose begins to shake. Sometimes it shakes quietly through restlessness, confusion, disrupted sleep, or unusual pressure. Your spirit is not malfunctioning, it is awakening. This is what divine alignment feels like. You may not realize this, but you have been protected in ways you never saw. There were moments when you felt vulnerable, moments when your thoughts felt clouded, moments when your emotions shifted suddenly for reasons you couldn't pinpoint. But even in that, the Most High placed a shield around you. Not because you were weak, but because you were being prepared. God guards His investment, and you, Anointed One, are His investment. Your destiny holds weight. Your calling carries influence. Your next season demands clarity. And here is where the revelation deepens your home. The space where you sleep, dream, pray, and build your life must come into alignment with what heaven is releasing. You cannot receive a supernatural transfer, a divine breakthrough, or a financial elevation while living in an atmosphere that contradicts the blessing. God confronts the environment before he releases the promise. He exposes the hidden before he pours out the new. He cleans the foundation before he builds the structure. What you are experiencing is not chaos. It is construction. Chosen one. This is the moment heaven reveals what your spirit has already sensed. The shift you feel is the beginning of your deliverance. The unease you felt was not an attack, it was an announcement. Something in your home was out of alignment, and God is correcting it. Something in your atmosphere has expired, and God is removing it. Something in your spirit is rising, and God is calling you to partner with him. Because what is coming next, the wealth, the clarity, the elevation, the restoration, requires a dwelling that reflects the presence of the one who is sending it. And now, chosen one, the unveiling begins. Chosen one, now that the veil has been lifted from your spirit, you must understand something. Essential revelation always comes before restoration. God never exposes without intention. He never stirs your discernment without purpose. And he never allows discomfort unless it is pushing you toward destiny. What you've sensed in your home, what has quietly brushed against your awareness, is not a random spiritual disturbance. It is divine timing signaling that the season of silence has ended. Heaven is calling you into authority. For too long you have lived as though sensitivity is a weakness. You've apologized for being too aware, too perceptive, or too emotional. You've tried to rationalize things you felt spiritually, forcing your soul to fit into explanations that never brought peace. But hear me clearly, anointed one. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is proof that heaven has marked you. It is evidence of your calling. It is the spiritual radar God implanted within you so that you would recognize what others overlook. And now that the atmosphere has shifted, that gift is awakening with new strength. I remember walking through a similar season years ago. Everything looked normal in my surroundings, yet my spirit refused to settle. I felt an invisible pressure, a shift I couldn't name. I tried to shake it off, opened windows, rearranged furniture, cleaned closets, hoping the restlessness would disappear. But nothing changed. It wasn't until I finally sat still, listened deeply, and allowed God to speak that I realized the truth. The atmosphere of my home had absorbed intentions, words, and energies that were not mine. And because I wasn't aware, I had tolerated what was quietly draining me. The moment God revealed it, I understood my environment had to shift before my destiny could. Chosen one, that is where you are now. This message is not just instruction, it is confirmation. You are not imagining the heaviness, the confusion, the strange interruptions in your peace. You are discerning something that has lingered for too long without your permission. But here is the revelation you must hold tightly. It cannot stay. It will not stay. It is being removed because you have stepped into a higher spiritual identity. The Lord is not revealing this to frighten you, but to elevate you. Heaven is not exposing the hidden to weaken you, but to empower you. You are stepping into a season where the authority within you must rise. And the truth is, this before God releases the financial breakthrough He ordained, before He positions you for supernatural provision, He first ensures that nothing in your environment will sabotage what He is giving you. Blessing requires purity of atmosphere. Elevation requires clarity of spirit. Divine transfer requires a home aligned with heaven's frequency. Anointed One, take a moment and breathe. Look at your surroundings with new awareness. Think of the rooms where you pray, rest and reflect. Think of the corners where light feels dimmer than it should. Think of the moments when you walked into a space and felt a sudden sinking in your chest or a shift in your mood. These sensations were not emotional reactions, they were spiritual alerts. Heaven has been signaling you, waiting for the moment your spirit would be strong enough to receive the truth. And now you are. Now you're ready. The truth is that not every person who has entered your home carried peace. Not every word spoken under your roof was spoken with purity. Not every emotion lingering in the air originated from you. Some people brought confusion disguised as kindness. Some carried heaviness wrapped in politeness. Some left impressions without ever touching a single thing. Your home, chosen one, has been the stage of spiritual activity you were never meant to carry alone. But let me reassure you, nothing has happened outside the knowledge of God. Nothing entered your space without heaven standing guard, and nothing has remained without heaven now demanding its removal. This is why your awareness has sharpened. This is why your spirit has felt restless. This is why you are hearing this message now. God reveals what He intends to cleanse, and this cleansing is not just of your home, it is of your path. It is of your future. It is of your destiny. The presence you sensed was not merely an intruder, it was a barrier, a distraction, a residue of someone else's intention trying to blur your spiritual clarity. But now, heaven is intervening. The season of confusion is ending. The Lord is preparing you for alignment, for clarity, for peace, and for a divine upgrade that requires nothing in your atmosphere to contradict what is coming. Chosen one, you are not just being warned, you are being prepared. More is coming, much more. Chosen one. Now that your spirit is awakened and your discernment has been affirmed, it is time to understand the deeper truth. Environments carry echoes. Atmospheres hold memory. Rooms absorb what people release intentionally or unintentionally. You've walked through your home believing the heaviness was internal, something wrong with you, something emotional or seasonal. But in reality, what you've been feeling is the imprint of something that did not originate from your soul. And heaven is finally pulling back the curtain so that you can see clearly. For years you have carried the burden of being spiritually perceptive without fully knowing what to do with it. Some would call it intuition, others would call it sensitivity. But you, anointed one, have always known it was something more. You sensed things before they happened. You felt shifts in people's intentions before they spoke. You picked up atmosphere changes the way others pick up temperature changes. This is not random. This is not accidental. This is your calling flexing its muscles. This is your gift awakening. I remember a season in my own life when I was moving through my home with a sense of subtle unrest, a pressure that followed me from the hallway to the bedroom, from the living room to the kitchen. Nothing obvious was wrong, nothing physical looked out of place. Yet something in the air felt off, as if my spirit was brushing against the residue of a conversation I never heard, or the aftermath of a presence that didn't belong. It wasn't until much later that God revealed someone had visited my home, carrying intentions they never spoke aloud. Their words were polite, their face was friendly. But their heart carried a different script. Chosen one. Your home has absorbed similar moments. The walls around you have heard what your ears did not. Your floor has carried footsteps that hid motives you couldn't see. Your atmosphere has collected more than just silence. It has collected residue. This is why you felt certain emotions that didn't fit your situation. This is why confusion hit you out of nowhere. This is why peace sometimes slipped through your fingers without explanation. It wasn't depression. It wasn't weakness. It wasn't you losing control. It was your spirit reacting to what your mind didn't know yet. But listen closely. God is not revealing this so you drown in fear. He reveals this because you have reached the spiritual maturity needed to confront it. This is the moment in your journey when discernment becomes destiny, when awareness becomes authority, when spiritual sensitivity shifts from burden to weapon. You are not the same person you were a year ago, not the same person you were 6 months ago, not even the same person you were last week. The battles you've walked through have sharpened you. The tears you've shed have purified you. The lonely seasons have strengthened you. And now your spirit is ready. This is why heaven is exposing what has been hidden. This is why the unease intensified. This is why the dreams became more vivid. This is why your sleep felt interrupted. Your spirit was not being attacked, it was being alerted. And now that you have recognized the shift, you must accept the truth. Your home must reflect who you are becoming, not what you have survived. Anointed One. The financial breakthrough you are moving toward, the spiritual elevation prepared for you, the supernatural transfer that is aligning these things, cannot enter an atmosphere polluted by old residue. Blessings cling to purity. Breakthroughs thrive in clarity. Divine provision flows where peace lives. The enemy knows this, which is why he works hardest in the atmosphere closest to you. If he can affect your home, he can affect your clarity. If he can affect your clarity, he can delay your blessing. But heaven has stepped in before the delay became permanent. This is your wake-up call, not because danger is coming, but because blessing is coming. You must understand something crucial. The resistance you felt in your home was not proof of weakness. It was proof of destiny. The unease was a sign that your spirit is too aligned with heaven to tolerate misalignment anymore. Your soul is outgrowing certain atmospheres the way a seed outgrows the soil that once held it. And now that heaven is preparing you for expansion, the old residue must be removed. Chosen One, look around your home not with your physical eyes, but with your spiritual authority. Notice where the atmosphere feels heavy. Notice where your thoughts feel cloudy. Notice where you don't feel fully at ease. These are clues, markers, signposts from heaven. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. What is coming next requires a clean dwelling, a clear spirit, and an environment aligned with heaven's agenda for your life. Chosen One. You are entering a new chapter, and this chapter demands that everything around you elevates with you. The cleansing has begun. Chosen One, now that the truth has begun to unfold, you must recognize the depth of what heaven is doing in your life. This is not just about cleansing a physical space. This is about reclaiming spiritual territory. God is teaching you how to govern the atmosphere you live in the same way He is preparing you to govern the blessings He is sending. What you are stepping into is not just revelation, it is rulership, and rulership begins at home. For so long you moved through your space with the assumption that peace was simply the default condition of a quiet room. But peace is not the absence of noise. Peace is the presence of alignment. Peace is the signature of God resting upon an environment. Peace is a spiritual mantle that settles when darkness has been expelled. And when peace begins to lift, it is not a minor inconvenience. It is a signal that something in your atmosphere requires your attention. Anointed One, you have walked through seasons where your home felt safe, grounded, and filled with divine warmth. Yet recently, something shifted. Your emotions became heavier in certain corners. Your thoughts tangled in certain rooms. Conversations echoed long after they were over, leaving a residue that your spirit could feel, even if your mind could not explain it. You kept trying to push through, trying to pray harder, trying to ignore what felt off. But the reason you couldn't ignore it is because your spirit was telling you the truth your eyes couldn't yet see. There is a spiritual law you must understand. Whatever occupies your atmosphere eventually tries to influence your destiny. This is why the enemy doesn't just attack individuals, he attacks environments. Because if he can infiltrate the space where you rest, he can tamper with your clarity. If he can tamper with your clarity, he can delay your assignment. And if he can delay your assignment, he can interfere with the blessings that are designed to reach you in divine timing. But the Most High is intervening before any delay becomes permanent. I need you to hear this with your spirit. Chosen one. The discomfort you've been experiencing is not a sign of danger, it's a sign of transition. You are shifting into a higher dimension of discernment. You are elevating into spiritual maturity. And when you transition upward, everything around you that is not aligned must be exposed so it can be removed. This is why certain people in your life have begun to distance themselves. This is why certain patterns are breaking. This is why your home of all places has become the center of this revelation. I've walked this road myself. I've stood in rooms that suddenly felt foreign. I've sat on couches where the atmosphere felt coated with words never spoken to my face. I've slept under ceilings that held memories I didn't create. It took time for me to understand that the spirit world never stays silent. Your home remembers what happened within its walls, even when you try to forget. And God, in His mercy, reveals these echoes not to frighten you, but to heal you. What He exposes, He intends to cleanse. Chosen one, take a moment and recall the moments when your mood shifted without explanation, the moments when confusion hit you suddenly, the moments when your thoughts felt heavy, slow, or scattered all inside the place that was supposed to recharge you. These weren't emotional failures. They were spiritual indicators, heaven's way of tapping your shoulder. And now that you are awake, you cannot go back to spiritual sleep. You must understand that the elevation God is calling you into requires spiritual ownership. You cannot enter the next dimension carrying the weight of residue that does not belong to you. You cannot walk into a season of divine financial release while living in an atmosphere that contradicts abundance. You cannot carry spiritual authority outside your home until you learn to exercise it inside your home. Your space must reflect your calling. Your atmosphere must reflect your identity. Your home must reflect heaven, because what is coming is holy, and holiness requires alignment. Chosen one, heaven is guiding you step by step. What you feel now is the beginning of your authority rising. The shift you sense is your environment responding to your awakening. Do not fear the exposure. Embrace it. This is the doorway into the next phase of your destiny. Everything is about to change. Chosen one. Now that revelation has risen in you, it is time to understand what heaven is truly preparing you for. This moment is not about exposing darkness for the sake of exposure. It is about clearing the space where your blessing will land. You cannot receive what God is about to release while your environment carries the residue of what He never sent. This is divine preparation, not punishment. This is alignment, not alarm. For so long you've walked through life assuming your home would automatically reflect your spiritual growth. But spiritual elevation does not happen automatically in the physical realm. Atmospheres must be claimed. Territory must be spoken over. Rooms must be brought under the authority of the one who dwells in you. Peace is not passive, it is legislated. And now heaven is calling you to legislate peace over the space where you sleep, think, recover, and dream. Anointed One, your home is more than a location. It is an altar, a place where your faith rises, where your prayers ascend, where your strength is restored. And when something disrupts the peace of an altar, the altar itself cries out. That is why you have felt the shift so intensely. Your home has been signaling you, calling for cleansing, calling for your spiritual attention. Every unease, every moment of heaviness, every sudden emotional dip, these were not random moments. They were invitations to step into your authority. I've lived through this. I've stood in living rooms where the air felt thick with unspoken tension. I've entered bedrooms where silence felt too loud, where something seemed off, even though nothing was visibly wrong. It took time to realize that my spirit was sensing what my mind had not yet understood, that the atmosphere itself needed healing. And when I finally addressed it, the shift was immediate. Confusion lifted. Rest returned. Peace flowed back like a quiet river. Your breakthrough will feel the same. Because here is the truth, chosen one. What God is bringing to you, the wealth, the clarity, the restoration, the opportunities, requires an environment strong enough to hold it. Blessings are delicate. They cannot survive in contaminated spaces. Your next season will require more focus, more spiritual stamina, more clarity of mind. That is why heaven is cleansing your home before your breakthrough arrives. God is making room for what is coming. You may not fully see it yet, but your entire life is expanding. Doors that were once shut are about to open. Resources that were withheld are about to be released. Favor that seemed delayed is about to manifest. But expansion demands readiness, and readiness begins in the place where you dwell. If the enemy cannot attack your calling directly, he will try to disrupt the environment around you. But heaven has cut off that attempt before it could take root. Chosen. 1. Your awareness is not paranoia, it is prophecy. Your discernment is not confusion, it is clarity. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it is assignment. You have been chosen to perceive things others miss, not so you can fear them, but so you can command them to shift. And now, with this revelation in hand, you are stepping into a new level of spiritual ownership. Your home is becoming a sanctuary again, a place where peace rules, where light reigns, where your spirit can breathe freely. Everything that once lingered in the corners is losing its grip. Every residue that once pulled on your emotions is dissolving. Every influence that once clouded your thoughts is being expelled. This is the beginning of your restoration, and soon, chosen one, the blessing will arrive. Chosen one, now that the cleansing has begun, you must understand the deeper meaning behind this spiritual shift. God is not only inviting you to reclaim your home, He is inviting you to reclaim yourself. For too long, parts of you have been scattered across old battles, past relationships, and silent wounds you never had time to heal. The unease in your home was never just about the environment. It was a mirror of the places within you that heaven is now restoring. What you are feeling is a total recalibration, a spiritual reset designed to usher you into your next dimension. You have carried burdens, silently believing that strength meant enduring everything without question. You've smiled through heaviness, laughed through pressure, and prayed through confusion, all while living in an atmosphere that wasn't supporting your spirit. But Anointed One God is rewriting that chapter now. You are no longer called to survive environments that drain you. You're called to create environments that align with who you truly are. I have walked through seasons where my home reflected my inner battles. A cluttered mind mirrored a cluttered space. A heavy heart mirrored a heavy atmosphere. And for a long time, I didn't see the connection. But when God began healing the inner places I'd ignored, I noticed the environment shifting with me. Light returned. Peace returned. Purpose returned. And for the first time, I felt my home support my destiny instead of suppressing it. Chosen one, the same transformation is now happening for you. Heaven is not just cleansing your space. Heaven is preparing your spirit to carry more. You may not realize it, but you are stepping into a mantle you never thought you would wear. A mantle of authority, a mantle of clarity, a mantle of spiritual ownership. And with this mantle comes new responsibility to steward your environment with intention. This is not about perfection, it is about alignment. It is about ensuring that your external world reflects the truth of your internal awakening. Chosen one, you have always felt things more deeply than others. You've walked into rooms and sensed the weight of conversations that happened long before you arrived. You've touched objects and felt the history behind them. You've been around people and instantly understood their energy, even when their words contradicted their intentions. This sensitivity is not a curse, it is the mark of someone chosen to carry spiritual depth. And now that heaven is strengthening this gift, you must learn how to protect it. Think of the times when you felt drained without knowing why. Think of the moments when someone left your home and suddenly the air felt heavier. Think of the nights when your mind raced, but your spirit whispered, "This is not coming from you." These were spiritual alert signs that your environment needed tending. And now that you're being elevated, these alerts are becoming louder, not to overwhelm you, but to train you. Because what God is releasing into your life in this season requires discernment sharper than you've ever walked in. Opportunities will come. Divine connections will appear. Financial provision will flow. But with every blessing comes responsibility, and God is making sure that your foundation is steady before He places anything massive upon it. A weak environment can destroy a strong destiny, but a sanctified environment strengthens everything God gives you. Anointed one, hear me clearly. The shift in your home is a prophetic sign that the shift in your life is moments away. God is clearing out the atmosphere because your next season requires focus. Your next season requires rest. Your next season requires heightened awareness. You are not stepping into an ordinary chapter. You are stepping into overflow. And overflow cannot coexist with spiritual residue. Your walls will no longer echo past pain. Your rooms will no longer hold shadows of old memories. Your atmosphere will no longer bend under the weight of someone else's intentions. This is a new beginning, a cleansing not just of your home, but of your story. Chosen one, the alignment is happening. The purification is almost complete, and what comes after this will change everything. Chosen one. Now that the layers of revelation have settled in your spirit, it is time to understand why heaven has been so intentional about this moment. You are standing at the edge of a divine transition, a movement so significant that even the unseen realm has felt its tremors. What you are experiencing in your home is not random disturbance. It is the byproduct of spiritual promotion. When God elevates you, everything around you must either rise with you or fall away. Nothing in your atmosphere is allowed to remain neutral. For too long you have been carrying the weight of atmospheres that did not belong to you. You've absorbed emotions that weren't yours. You've entertained people who weren't aligned. You've tolerated energies that contradicted your spirit. And though you tried to explain away the discomfort, Heaven refused to let you settle into a space that no longer matched your calling. The tension you felt was not a warning of danger, it was the pressure of transformation. Anointed One, hear this with clarity. Your environment was reacting to the elevation within you. Just as a seed breaks the soil before rising, your spirit has been breaking old atmospheres on its way upward. The unease you felt in certain rooms was not a sign that you were weak. It was a sign that those spaces could no longer hold who you were becoming. You have outgrown atmospheres that once felt normal, and just like a plant that needs a bigger pot, your spirit needed a room large enough to contain its expansion. I remember a season in my life when I was being elevated spiritually, yet everything around me felt unstable. My home felt foreign, my thoughts felt restless, and the air seemed to shift with every passing hour. At the time, I didn't understand it. But later, God revealed that nothing was wrong. The environment was simply adjusting to the new authority He had placed inside me. When your spirit steps into a higher dimension, the natural world responds, sometimes violently, sometimes quietly, but it always responds. Chosen one, this is what has been happening to you. The spiritual density in your home, the heaviness, the unexplained discomfort, the shifts in atmosphere were simply indicators that old energies were being forced out by the light rising within you. Heaven was cleansing your space because your elevation required a purified environment. Promotion in the spirit always begins with purification in the natural. And here is the deeper truth: what God is preparing to place in your hands cannot coexist with spiritual residue. Your next season requires clarity, sensitivity, and spiritual sharpness. You are being positioned for influence, for financial increase, for supernatural provision. And before God releases those blessings, He ensures that the environment receiving them will not contaminate them. Your home, your sanctuary, your atmosphere, these must be strengthened before your breakthrough arrives. Anointed one. You may have noticed something else as the atmosphere began to shift. Certain people in your life also began to shift. Some pulled away, some grew distant. Some became uncomfortable with the new version of you. This is not coincidence. When God elevates your spirit, misaligned connections automatically detach. Your discernment becomes stronger. Your patience with chaos becomes shorter. Your tolerance for disguised intentions disappears. This too is cleansing. You are stepping into a season where your environment, your relationships, and your inner world must all align with who you truly are. No more fragmented identity, no more divided atmosphere, no more spiritual interference. What God is releasing over you is too valuable to risk contamination. Heaven is protecting the promise by purifying the vessel, and the vessel is you. Chosen one. Something powerful is happening inside your home right now. Something is shifting, lifting, unraveling, and dissolving. The heaviness that once clung to the air is losing its grip. The confusion that once clouded your mind is fading. The resistance that once pressed against your spirit is collapsing. Your home is returning to its rightful identity, a place of rest, clarity, and divine presence. This is not the end of the process. This is the turning point. The atmosphere is almost ready. And once alignment is complete, your breakthrough will not just arrive, it will overflow. Chosen one, heaven is preparing you for the final part of this transformation. What comes next will seal everything heaven has started. Chosen one. Now that the cleansing has reached its completion, you are standing in a spiritually transformed space. This final stage is not about what has been driven out, it is about what heaven is now making room to bring in. God never empties a place without preparing it for a greater infilling. What was removed from your home was only the beginning. What is coming into your home will carry the weight of destiny, clarity, and breakthrough. Anointed one, hear this with a steady spirit. Your home has become more than a shelter. It has become a divine portal, a landing place for revelation and supernatural movement. The air you breathe is different now because the atmosphere has been restored to its rightful order. Peace no longer has to fight for its position. It settles, rests, and expands. Your spirit is no longer contending with unseen resistance. You are standing in alignment, and alignment is the birthplace of overflow. I remember a season where God performed this same work in my life. One morning I woke up and sensed an unmistakable shift. The air felt lighter, like something heavy had finally loosened its grip. My thoughts moved with clarity, as if a fog had lifted from my mind. Even the silence felt different, calm, full alive. That was the moment I realized heaven had finished cleansing my environment. Chosen one, you are standing in that same threshold now. The shift you feel is not imagined, it is confirmation. And now, listen closely. What is coming into your life requires a purified atmosphere to land. God is preparing to release things you prayed for, things you forgot you prayed for, and things you never imagined belonged to you. Resources, connections, opportunities, and supernatural provision are aligning. Doors that felt sealed shut are already loosening. Battles that once consumed you no longer have authority to touch you. You are being positioned for divine release. Chosen one. This next season will not depend on your effort. It will depend on your alignment. A cleansed home attracts clarity. A peaceful environment attracts promotion. A rested spirit attracts revelation. You are moving from survival into flow, a flow of ease, grace, and spiritual momentum. Heaven is positioning you to walk into answers you did not chase and victories you did not force. Your home is no longer a battleground. It is holy ground, a place where angels stand guard, where the presence of God settles, and where your spirit can rise without interference. You will think differently, dream differently, pray differently, because the environment around you now reflects what God is doing within you. The old residue has no voice here. The old heaviness has no doorway back in. This is a new atmosphere, a new chapter, a new anointing resting upon your space. Chosen one, receive this truth. Your spirit is ready. Your home is ready. Heaven is ready. And the blessing that comes next will show you why every shift, every discomfort, and every moment of revelation was necessary. Chosen one. As we come to the close of this message, let your spirit rest in the truth of what heaven has begun in you. You are not leaving this moment the way you entered it. The atmosphere around you has shifted. The covering over your home has strengthened. And the divine transfer set in motion for your life is already unfolding, even in ways you cannot yet see. Anointed one, this is your Kairos moment, your appointed time, your season of unveiling, your hour of holy alignment. What God has exposed, he will cleanse. What he has cleansed, he will fill. And what he fills, no darkness can touch again. Walk knowing that heaven has gone before you. Angels are stationed around you. Peace is settling upon you, and clarity is rising within you. May every room you step into carry the fragrance of God's presence. May every thought be anchored in truth. May every door meant for you open without resistance. And may your home become a sanctuary where revelation flows freely and blessings find a place to land. Chosen one, remain faithful. Stay aligned. Hold your posture of expectation. What is coming toward you is greater than what has left you. The breakthrough is not future, it is now. The protection is not pending, it is active. The blessing is not distant, it is approaching quickly. If this word resonated with your spirit, share what you are reclaiming in your home or heart today. And if you feel led, stay connected for more prophetic guidance, divine wisdom, and spiritual covering. You are chosen, you are protected, you are rising. Until next time, remain in the light.